topic is all things wedding behind with wedding planning, I feel like. But anyways, your only dress hint will be, but Dylan actually had the ring for a full year before he asked me, so it's like a whole other story. But anyways, am I already feeling my 3 ounces of Prosecco? What the heck? This video, it's like 2 minutes in, it's a freaking disaster. Okay.
Slow a little down is what you said. I'ma get it over in my head.
Okay.
White t-shirt.
This is so funny. I'm literally drinking by myself on a Tuesday. Hello. Doing a new series on my channel that I feel like a lot of people do a bunch of different types of, but I wanted to call mine Cocktails and Questions with Rachel. It is wedding related. We're gonna talk all things wedding. I posted this morning on my story and you guys are asking a ton of questions. I haven't really looked at much, so it's gonna be a little chat. I'm sure this video will be pretty good length. I hope you guys will enjoy this series. It's kind of just like an elevated like Q&A, updated Q&As. I'll do them every so often just because I feel like this is more fun. So we'll try different drinks. Today I'm making an Aperol Spritz, my newest obsession. I've been talking about them for the past like 3 videos. You guys are probably like, Rachel, we get it. So I'm gonna make my own, which I haven't done yet. I just went and got all the ingredients. So I thought we would start off doing that. It's literally so easy. I just wanna make sure I get the measurements right. Okay, first thing we have a wine glass. We're gonna do ice, a lot of ice. Also my wine glass looks kind of dirty, but I promise it's just smudged. So crushed ice is also the best in my opinion. So step 1. Okay, 1 orange slice. We need club soda or unflavored sparkling water, ice, Prosecco, and 3 ounces of Aperol. So first we're gonna pop this baby. Fun fact about me, I'm actually so terrified of popping champagne. So I'm hoping this is a twist off, but I feel like it might not be. I wanted this video to just feel like you're sitting down chatting with me, like a little FaceTime. So if you want to grab a drink, make this drink, drink water. If you don't drink, oh no, you guys, I have to pop this and I am scared. I really wanted Dylan to be in this video, but I figured I wanted the lighting to be okay while I was filming it, and I also figured that he was just gonna sit there anyways because he's one of those guys that's just like kind of whatever I want to do with the wedding planning, he's like down for. Okay, here we go. I'm actually so scared. How do I do this? Seriously, how do I do this? Oh, I twist. I'm scared. I need something to grip this. Oh, there we go. Okay, it wasn't a pop. That was like the most dramatic thing, you guys. Oh my god, it was a freaking twist off. Are you kidding me? Oh, someone's calling me. Oh, hi, how are you? My sofa is being delivered in the next 20 minutes, so I need to wait for that to happen, and then I'm gonna resume this. So let me pause this shit. This video, it's like 2 minutes in, it's a freaking disaster. Okay, our couch just got delivered, our new couch, so I had to pause slightly. So 1 ounce of club soda or unflavored sparkling water. I like actually hate club soda, like I think it's disgusting. I don't even know what an ounce is. I think it's, yeah, I just want to make sure I get the measurements right. You know, I'm just gonna eyeball this. Prosecco, 3 ounces. I'm just gonna eyeball this as well. Oh, I'm almost out of room and I haven't even put the Aperol. I think I might have put too much ice. Important ingredient, the Aperol. At least that's what they say. I'm no pro here. This is my first time making it. I do like a little bit less though because it has a really bitter taste. I like mine to be a little bit on the lighter side. Top it off with an orange slice. I'm actually gonna squeeze some fresh orange in there. I think it's really yummy. With my fingers. Are you kidding me, Rachel? Just put that baby in there. Okay, let me go get a napkin really quick. Let's give it a little taste test. Honestly, it's better than some of them I've had at this restaurants. This is pretty smacking. Maybe this isn't a fail video. Okay, I'm gonna scoot closer to the window. Basically, we're just gonna chat about the wedding. Today's topic is all things wedding planning, how my planning's going, what I suggest so far if you're a bride for planning, our wedding details, just like everything you guys want to know. You guys asked us some questions and I'm here to answer them with my Aperol Spritz. I really wanted to film this video with Dylan, but I kind of just figured He's gonna get home late, so we'd have to use like full-on ring light, which is fine. That's like the least of my concerns. Am I already feeling my 3 ounces of Prosecco? What the heck? Sorry if the lighting changes as well. It's like really cloudy out, but I figured this was like casual style chit chat. So Dylan is very involved in the wedding planning if I ask him, but he's told me that whatever I end up doing, like we agreed on the venue and the people and all that, which I'll get to, but he's very like, do it how you want to do it and I'll be there and I'll be happy. And because he just wants me to love it, which I love about him. I find that it's hard if you have both sides wanting to be super hands-on, and then it just gets to be too many opinions, and then it gets to be a little bit overwhelming. So I would say if you guys can't fully agree, you have to meet halfway. Like I really wanted a small wedding and to like kind of elope with just family, and he wanted a big wedding, so we met in the middle and are doing a medium-sized wedding. So things like that as an example. But I figured I would just film this on my own. Maybe next Q&A Dylan will be here for it. I just figured he would be sitting here because he doesn't really have a lot of the answers to the questions, because I have like basically been doing it all, and not like in a rude way. That's just how it's been, and we've mutually agreed on that. So I'm gonna go to my Instagram. I think I have a ton of questions from you guys, so I'm gonna try to get to as many as we can here. I think I'm just gonna start with the basic questions like venue, location, people, budget, things like that. So we're getting married in Florida on May 14th, and I am so excited. I don't want to say the venue because I want that to be a surprise, but it is in Florida. I will say it's not on the beach, but it's like a beach wedding, but it's not on the beach, if that makes any sense. So you'll have to wait till May 14th of next year. So we're about a little over 10 months out. The venue holds 100 people, which 100 people kind of seems like it's a lot until you put all your friends and family down, and then you're like, wow, okay, 100 people is like nothing. My sister got married 2 years ago and they had, I think, like 230 people she invited, and we're inviting exactly 100 people. Closest family and friends, we managed to get all family on the list and our closest friends. I would say my biggest advice, I already saw some questions about like, how do you cut down your list? How do you like tell a friend that you're not inviting them? At the end of the day, I talked to a lot of people who had small weddings just to make sure I wouldn't regret it. And everyone that I've talked to that had a small, more intimate wedding, and I'm talking like 30, 40 people, so we really are having like over double of what they were talking about. They said it was the most special day. I have always been someone who I want to sit at my wedding and be able to look around and know every single person and feel comfortable enough to go up and talk to every single person at my wedding. I don't want to walk around and be like, oh wait, who's that? Or wait, who did she bring? Or things like that. So we were very selective with the guest list. Also, if you have a friend that you have to maybe take off or just something of that situation, just know that this is what I kept telling myself and what people kept telling me, if they are a true friend, they're going to totally understand. We booked our wedding when COVID was still kind of like unanswered, so we were like scared about like the wedding getting postponed and stuff, so we didn't want to do like this huge wedding and then it not be able to happen. So that's why we kind of stuck with the 100 people, 100-person wedding. Back to what I was saying though, if you have a friend who like is really gonna like be rude or judgmental towards like not getting an invite, if they were maybe like a high school friend or like long distance friend that you haven't talked to in a while, if they really are your true friend, they're not gonna be like, oh my god, I'm never talking to her, blah blah blah. They're gonna be happy for you and realize like at the end of the day, a wedding is about Dylan and I getting married and like joining our lives and our family's lives joining, not about everyone to just like come and get drunk and have a free-for-all. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like weddings are a lot of money and it takes a lot of work. So invite who you want to invite. Don't let other people ruin the fun experience for you, or like other people's negative words like ruin it, because at the end of the day, the wedding's about you and your person. So I hope that helps with like wedding list and questions like that. What are you looking forward to the most on the wedding day? Definitely Dylan seeing me walking down the aisle, my dad and Danny seeing me. So a lot of questions about first look, and we're still debating on the first look. That's something that we're not fully agreeing on. So our venue is a smaller venue, so we don't have a super long aisle and things like that. It's just a smaller ceremony. Anyways, so I want Dylan to be able to see me before, so I am like pro first look, because I want to have more time for photos with him and I, instead of like having the ceremony and then us two being rushed with photos, just because at the end of the day, in 10 years, the photos are what you're gonna have left. Like the day of the wedding is gonna be over and gone, but your photos are what you're still gonna have. So I really wanna have a long time for photos, but I totally understand where Dylan's coming from, where he wants to see me the first time when I walk down the aisle. So we're kind of going back and forth on that. I think I'm gonna do first look with my bridesmaids and like Dylan's mom and stuff, because the only person that knows what my dress looks like is my mom. And my 2 sisters saw it over FaceTime, but that's it. No one has like seen it on me besides my mom. And then I think I'm gonna do a first look with my dad and Danny for sure, which I'm so excited about. And then Dylan will probably do first look with groomsmen. We honestly we're like so behind with wedding planning, I feel like. But anyways, that's what we have planned so far. The first look is still up in the air. We're still kind of going back and forth on that. Did you talk to Dylan about when you wanted to get engaged before the proposal? We definitely talked about it a lot. I like sent him a few pictures of rings. We never went to the like extent of like us going together to pick out rings and like me try on rings, so I had no idea it was coming. But Dylan actually had the ring for a full year before he asked me, so that's like a whole nother story. But anyways, a lot of questions about budget, and I'm just gonna say it's so different for everyone. Everyone's families and scenarios are different. I am so blessed and lucky that my parents are paying for our wedding. I'm helping out here and there, but I'm trying to keep this wedding low key because I just know so many brides that spend all this time and money on things like little placemats and little things like that add up, and then it's like over and done with and you didn't even really get to like see it. The day goes by so quick. So things that I'm focusing my money on, I got a lot of questions about like, what are we spending a big portion of our budget on? I would say the venue, my dress, and the photographer. And I feel like at the end of the day, those are the 3 most important things that I'm going to remember. We got really lucky. Our venue comes with like the open bar and the food. So we're doing a buffet style. I'm just like basically telling you guys everything that I know so far about the wedding. And as I plan more, I'll do more of these. But we're doing buffet style. There's gonna be seating and stuff, but we're not doing like a formal seating chart, like sit down. It's gonna be so casual. I want people to be able to walk around and talk to who they wanna talk with. I don't wanna be stressed about having to make a seating chart because I watched my sister do it. I learned a lot from my sister getting married, and there's a lot of things that I love that she did that I'm definitely going to do. And then there's a lot of things where she was like, don't do it. It's a waste of time or a waste of money. So we're not doing a seating chart. We're gonna have a buffet style, and then we're gonna do like hors d'oeuvres before the ceremony and then to end off the night. There'll be food. We're doing open bar with full beer, wine, and liquor. I'm nervous for that, but I'm excited for that. And then there's just like a lot of perks that came with the venue that we booked. After the wedding, I'm gonna do a full like thing about the venue and stuff, so you guys, if you wanna get married there, but I want it to be a surprise. So that stuff all came with it. So the venue price obviously was a huge chunk because it included food and alcohol, which is also like a huge chunk of the budget. And then my mom and I, when we flew to New York, we didn't really talk budget, but I knew like kind of what she was thinking, and I kind of had a budget in my head. I did end up going over by a good bit, but I offered to pay the portion that I went over just because that was on me. And once I had the dress on, I like couldn't say no. I knew I shouldn't have tried it on, but like, you guys, I also went with the dress style that I definitely never saw myself in, so I'm really excited about that. And then photographer. I paid for the photographer myself because it's a photographer that I really wanted. We're doing a sunset shoot the Thursday before the wedding. We're having her there all weekend, so it was a big chunk of money, but it's gonna be a lot of photos and stuff, and I'm really excited about that. She's also doing our engagement photos this coming up weekend, so I'm really excited about that. I looked at her work and she's like amazing. So I'm gonna share everything, like names and venues and all that, in a list. Like I might even make like a little, not blog post, but something along the lines once the wedding's over. But right now I'm still like in the planning process, so I don't have too much like information. But yeah, I would say those 3 things: the venue, my dress, and the photographer so far. I'm trying to keep out the little like knick-knack things because that stuff adds up so quick, and like at the end of the day, no one is going to remember what flower you set on their place setting before they ate. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like little things like that. And you guys, flowers and shit are expensive. Like, I was like, oh, I set a budget for myself, and then I started looking into like what I really wanted. Like, nowhere near. It's honestly sad these days how expensive weddings are. Like, don't even get me started about it because it's just like a big old mess with weddings. Whatever. Will you have friends or fam in the wedding besides bridesmaids or groomsmen, ushers or readers? that is something we don't, like, I haven't really even thought of. So it's basically right now we have the bridesmaids and groomsmen, which I haven't even asked my bridesmaids, you guys, I'm like so behind, but I have that package going out soon. I'm gonna have 8 bridesmaids, I believe. Yeah, 8. Dylan will have 8, so we're even. And that's really the only people in the wedding besides like our parents walking down and stuff. The usher is not family related, but it's someone that we know. We're not getting married in a church, we're getting married at the venue. Super quick, I want to pause the questions and thank ExpressVPN for working with me in today's video. If you do not know what they are, I'm gonna quickly explain because you need to sign up. So with wedding planning comes a lot of internet browsing and visiting websites you might not be familiar with, and whether you like it or not, everything you are searching for or doing is being tracked. I like to use incognito mode to browse for bachelorette decorations because you guys know that stuff can get to be pretty crazy. But even when you're browsing in incognito, your ISP can see all the sites you visit and can legally sell your browsing data to ad companies. It's really important to make sure that you are keeping some sense of privacy, so that's why I love using it. I'm always on the computer, internet, surfing the web, everything, so it's really important to make sure that you're using a VPN, and Express is the easiest by far. I really love it because it secures your connection but also lets you change your location. So for example, I have been loving watching things on Netflix that aren't available in the US. Super easy to use and set up. It allows you to secure your connection but also change your location, which is amazing, and you can watch Netflix shows that aren't available in the US. Modern Family is one of my go-tos. You can unlock movies, shows, literally a ton of good shows, you guys. You guys can find out how you can get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free when you visit expressvpn.com/Rachel Ratke. I'll also have it linked down below in the description. Definitely check them out. It's something that just makes me feel a little bit more secure when I'm browsing the web, and there's also a lot of other benefits with it. So check them out. Thank you, ExpressVPN, for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back to the questions. A lot of questions about me to share my wedding registry, or like, have I thought of wedding gift ideas yet? So we actually aren't doing a wedding registry, which I actually really like this idea. With us living on our own for a while already, it's not like we both live with our parents and like once we get married we're gonna move in, which is great if that's your case. A wedding registry is great for that because you can ask for like a mattress, sheets, towels, pots, pans, like all of that. We've just lived on our own for so long that we have all that stuff between Dylan and I, so we actually decided to do a honeymoon fund, which I'm really excited about. So on like the save the date, we just made a Venmo account and we used our hashtag for the wedding. It's called Almost an Autumn Wreath. So we just put our Venmo, Almost an Autumn Wreath, on like, we're gonna put them on the save the dates, we put them on the engagement, party announcements, just things like that. So then when people are wondering like what to get, they could just like look there, and if they want to donate money, they can donate money to our honeymoon. I'm between 2 places, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to St. Lucia. I'm like pretty sure. So that's what the money will go towards. And then obviously we have to like front the money for the trip. Like we have to book it in advance. So we'll just book it, and then whatever is in the Venmo account we'll just maybe add to like cocktails and drinks that night on the resort, or like a couples massage, or maybe like a boat ride or something like that. And then when it comes to like thank yous and stuff, instead of like saying thank you for these pots and pans, I'll be like, your money donation went to cocktails on the beach, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. I feel like some people think it could be a little bit, not rude to ask for money, but I just don't want to ask or like make a wedding registry for things that we don't need. I feel like people would rather like, and I've known of several people who do honeymoon funds. It really is about things that you need. So like, I'm not gonna sit here and make a whole like Amazon registry of things that I already have. So I hope that answers your questions about that. Yeah, we're not really asking for anything for a gift, like even from our parents and stuff. Obviously, my parents are paying for the wedding, so like they do not need to contribute anything to like a Venmo account or gifts or anything by any means, but it's like weird asking people for things. I've never been someone to like that idea, so I wasn't even gonna do a registry or Venmo, and then Dylan's mom helped us set it up, and she's like, you guys need to do something, so that's what we settled on. So are we doing any DIY items? As of right now, no, just because it's kind of crazy. I don't know where we're going to be living by the time May 14th rolls around. Like for our wedding, we could not be living in Colorado anymore. So I don't want to be making all this stuff here and then have to like worry about moving it and doing all that. So the florist that I actually booked, she doesn't just do flowers. She has like signs and furniture and decor and linens and all that. So once we get closer to the wedding, I'm going to go meet with her. They have a huge warehouse and we'll pick out all that kind of stuff. But I don't think I'm going to do any DIY. I watch my sister do it and stress about it, and I just to me, it's just not worth it. So that's just something that I decided not to do. A lot of questions about a sneak peek of the dress. I think I'm gonna save it. Well, I don't think, I know I'm gonna save it for the big day. I don't want anyone to see it yet just because I've kept it so secretive. Also, I don't even have a picture of it on my phone because I'm like someone, if I look at it too much, I'm not gonna like it anymore. So my sisters have the pictures and I just trust them. So bridesmaids dresses, color, style, like the mood of the wedding, all of that. So bridesmaids dresses are gonna be black. It's gonna be a formal wedding, so everything's black tie, all black and white. The venue is like also pretty neutral coloring, which is like one of the reasons why I loved it. I think I'm gonna go with, I haven't picked out flowers, so I don't know the type of flowers or anything, but I think I'm gonna go with all white, a lot of greenery. We're not really doing an accent color of any sort just because you guys know that's not really me. So I'm really excited. I was gonna do like a champagne, almost white bridesmaid's dress, so everyone was kind of, but the dress I picked out, the color is technically off-white for my dress, so I didn't want the bridesmaids to look a little bit too close to me, so we decided to go with black. I'm really excited for you guys to see those. I'm gonna be posting all about that and like all of that when the day comes, behind the scenes of like getting ready and all that. I have so much fun content planned for the weekend of the wedding. I think I'm gonna like hire a few people to like help vlog and stuff so I don't have to be stressed about it, but that way I can have the memories. So I'm so excited for that. Is Dylan home? For the mood of the wedding, we're doing like, it's an evening wedding, so we're doing like romantic, elegant, very minimal. Like I don't want a ton of stuff out. I want it to be very classy, high-end, just very minimal. Like flowers, a few lanterns, there's some fire pits, like the glass rock, like country fire pits, like the glass rock fires all over. We're gonna do just all white table settings, just very minimal because it's a smaller area and I don't want it to feel too overcrowded. So I think we're gonna do some like maybe even acrylic tables to take up less eye space. I know I'm gonna be doing a black and white checker dance floor. That's like one thing I'll share with you guys. I'm so excited for that. I've always wanted that. And then I'm just kind of working on the small details right now of like little things that people can wear at the wedding, and how people do like the light up glasses or things like that. And then we're working on just like a few like signs, like his and hers drinks. We have so much time for all that, so like we really don't need to be worried about it yet, but I just like to kind of get all my stuff in a row, have it all on like an Excel sheet. I will say if you're a bride, definitely do that. Make like an Excel sheet of everything that you think of, or like ideas that you want to do for the wedding, and then you don't have to buy it all. I find like there was some things that I put like 2 or 3 months ago, like a neon sign with our last name, that now I'm like, I don't really think that I want that or that we need that. We could save $1,000. So I would say before you just impulse buy like, oh, I would love a neon sign over our head table, like think about it before you buy it. If you have the time, I recommend a long engagement so you do have the time, and then at the end of the day you're gonna end up saving a lot of money and you're gonna really love what your ceremony comes out to be, just because you've really thought hard and long on like some of the choices and items that you've bought. So I hope that helps. A lot of questions about my ring, and I feel like I talk about it a lot, but I guess I don't. So here's my ring. Super dirty right now, but it's an emerald cut with a gold band. I could not tell you any of the specific information. I just know it's an emerald cut with a gold band, and Dylan like worked with a diamond guy to get it like set. I know he set it high up. I don't know like clarity or anything. I do know that the emerald cut is a little bit harder to find and it has less cuts in the diamond. And that's like literally all I know about it, but here's a little close-up if you haven't seen it. I love it so much. Pictures before or after the ceremony. We're obviously gonna do pictures like the whole time, like before with like mom, bridesmaids, all that, but the full wedding party, like his side and my side, I don't think we'll do till after the ceremony, but again, we're still deciding on the first look, so we'll see how it goes. Any brands you love following for wedding inspo or specific YouTube wedding videos? So I really haven't watched a ton. I have like a Pinterest board. It is on private just because I want things to be a surprise for you guys. And like for friends and family, I don't want them to like fully know or see yet. So yeah, but there isn't like any like specific brand or anything where I'm like, oh my God, I need that brand of dress or chair or like sign or anything like that. I just like it's simple. Have I asked my bridal party yet? No, I have not. Dylan hasn't either. Dylan said he's just gonna call his friends and ask. I feel like that's such a guy thing. I have a little gift going out, which you guys will see. I'm gonna film it. So I'm really excited for that. Again, I have 8 bridesmaids. Another question about budget. How do you set a budget? So basically, before we started doing any wedding planning, I sat down with my dad because my dad and mom are paying for the wedding. I'm so thankful. And we kind of just talked budget. And then that's where we started to look at venues. And there was a few venues that I really wanted that once we talked budget, I realized I couldn't do. So I definitely would say sit down with, if you're paying for your wedding, sit down and look over your finances, or sit down with your parents or grandma or whoever is helping out with the wedding, and definitely like set a budget. I have a wedding planner book that I'll link down below that my friend Jenny got me. And I kind of set like, okay, I want this to be for the venue. I want this money to be for blah, blah, blah. And like, say I went a little bit over in my venue, then maybe I'll go a little bit under on my floral budget. So I kind of like take and grab from different sections, so it kind of evens out the budget. But I just sat down with my dad, we talked budget and all of that. So I would just say sit down with whoever's paying for it, or if you're paying for it, like make sure that your finances can like afford the type of wedding that you're wanting to buy. Also, just always prepare for things to be more than what it is. So say you think your venue is going to cost you $8,000, just expect it to be $10,000. Those are just like random numbers, but everything is so much more expensive than you think. What is my biggest fear? That it's gonna rain on my wedding day. I know that's like something so bad to like be scared about. We're getting married in Florida, so like that just doesn't really help. And everything is outside, from the ceremony to the reception to the cocktail party to the reception the night before, wedding rehearsal, like literally everything is outside. So I'm just praying for a beautiful weekend. So that's my biggest fear. What vendor was your top priority for your wedding? Photographer, food, venue? I kind of like touched on that. If I had to pick between the photographer, my dress, and the venue, I think I would say the venue, because I think the venue speaks for itself. If you have a beautiful venue, you don't really have to go overboard with like flowers and stuff. My venue I already love undecorated, so I just can't imagine how much I'll love it when it is decorated, if that makes any sense. So are we writing our own vows? Yes, I'm so excited for that. I'm like pretty far out, but I found some vow books that I really like, and I think I'll write them the night before or like the week before the wedding, just because that's when I'll really be, not that I'm not excited, but I just still feel so far away. I think we'll both sit down and write them super close to the wedding, just to make sure they're like real and raw. I don't want it to be rehearsed. I don't want to be like writing my vows for the next year so I can like plan what I'm going to say. I want it to be like I'm literally just spitting out words. We're going to read them in front of everyone at the ceremony. Dylan might hate it because he's a little shy, but again, it's our closest friends and family, like literally the closest. So it'll be good. It'll be cute. I'm probably gonna stop crying because I like could cry right now talking about the wedding because I'm just so excited to marry Dylan. Yeah, I'm a crybaby. Like, just take another sip of my drink. Advice for trying on dresses and like how to find places to try on dresses. I just literally Googled and asked around of people who had tried on dresses in New York. So there was a few designers that I knew I wanted to go to, but I wasn't like set on any designer. I wasn't like, I have to have a Berta dress. I just wanted to like try on Berta dresses. So that's why we went to the Berta showroom. And then there was another place that had a lot of Australian designers that I love. For some reason, the Australian wedding designers just get it. Like, their stuff is just so good. So I had appointments when we were in New York for 4 places, and we ended up only going to 2 because I found a dress at the second place. Also, some questions on like, how did you know that dress was the one? Sorry, the lighting keeps switching so much. How I knew it was the one was off the rack, I picked it, and I was like, oh, I love this, let's try it. Like, it was one that immediately caught my eye. My memory card was full. Are you guys surprised? Also, some questions about like what parties we're gonna have leading up to the wedding. We're just keeping it simple because we're so far away from home, and Dylan's busy with work, obviously. So we just did the engagement party a few weeks back. You guys saw that. And then we're gonna do a bachelor trip, a bachelorette trip, which we're still both in the process of planning. I'm not really sure where we're gonna go yet. It's like a few ideas I have, but I'll vlog that whole week. And then we're gonna have my bridal shower, and then that's basically it until the wedding. Just the engagement party and the bridal shower, and then our separate bachelor and bachelorette trips. But places I've been loving for white dresses, for Love and Lemons is so good. It's a little pricey, but they do have a line with Victoria's Secret. So if you go on Victoria's Secret and you type in for Love and Lemons, they have a ton of cute little dresses. A lot of them are white, so that is helpful for brides. Revolve is such a great place. They even have like a wedding shop, so you can like filter it by like just white dresses. It's pricey, but to me, it's like, it's your wedding. You want to make sure that you love like what you're wearing for your bridal shower, things like that. I also know like Lulu's has really good white dresses, Nordstrom, places like that. I kind of tend to stay away from like Forever 21 and stuff when it comes to the white dress and stuff, because I feel like white is a really easy way to like make it look cheap. So Check out the For Love and Lemons though. Their stuff is so cute for brides. Are you going to try to be your most natural self, hair, makeup, etc.? Okay, I love this question because I've heard from a lot of brides, like they try to elevate their makeup and their hair to such a level where it doesn't even really look like them, and then they look back on their wedding photos and they're like, I don't even like that because it doesn't even look like me. So I'm gonna have a hair and makeup person come in for like the other girls if they want, but I actually am just gonna have my sisters do my makeup. They did my makeup all of growing up for competition, and I have always loved how they do my makeup. They know my face, they know how to make me look natural and like my best self, not like, I feel like with me, my struggle is the more makeup I put on, I feel like the worse I look. And that's just like a personal problem that I have. But it's like the eyeliner and I'll probably do lashes just because that like looks good, but it gets to be too much. I feel like sometimes I grew up getting my makeup done because I did some modeling out of high school, and they would put all this foundation on and like all this stuff, and it just didn't look like me. And I don't want like Dylan to see me for the first time and be like, wow, like I get doing a little bit extra at your wedding day. You want to look fancy. We're doing a black tie wedding, like all of that. But at the same time, I don't want to like look like I don't even look like myself. And then for my hair, I'm going to have my hair extensions in for the wedding, and I'm actually probably going to fly out the girl who does my hair here. Her studio, they do bridal hair, and so I think I'm going to ask all the bridesmaids to do their hair in some type of updo, and then my hair is going to be something that I do often, but just like elevated a tad bit. So I think I will really truly still look like myself, especially like because the makeup isn't going to be overwhelming. I just hate like being a cake face when and I'm someone who's too nice to say like if I don't end up liking my makeup and someone doesn't, I won't say anything because I just feel bad. And it's like, okay, this is my wedding day, I need to make sure I like what I look like, you know what I mean? So what's the vibe? Did that. Guest count 100. Theme minimal, romantic. We've talked about this. Are you hiring a planner? If so, what steps have you done so far? So the venue that I booked actually comes with a planner, I believe. I think. I could be wrong, but I haven't like hired one on my own. I think I am gonna hire a day of planner just to make sure everything goes smooth and I don't have to be stressed about like the order of events happening. But I'm not doing like a planner for months out because honestly my venue is great. Everything is kind of like bundled into one, so a lot of stuff is already taken care of through that, which is like a lifesaver. How many showrooms do you recommend going to find the perfect dress? Again, I booked 4, but I have heard if you try on too many you start questioning like what you like. So I don't know, you can take it as you want, but I feel like you'll know when you know. Does that make sense? You'll know when you know. Okay. Veil or no veil? I'm doing a long cathedral length veil for the ceremony. Obviously the reception I'll take it off, but I am so into the long veil. I think it's so beautiful. It makes you look like such a freaking bride. I cannot wait to wear a veil. I'm not doing the veil over my face though. It's just gonna be attached into my hair, but it's the cathedral length, which is like the longest veil you can get, I'm pretty sure. Unless you're like Kim Kardashian, you get a custom one. So I have a big wedding party. It's 8 and 8, so 16 of us, 18 of us, including Dylan and I. So who's gonna be my maid of honor? I have questions about this because I feel like you guys know that I obviously have 2 sisters, but even if, I feel like sometimes people don't do their siblings. They do like their best friend if they can't choose between their siblings. But since Sarah's married, she's gonna be my matron of honor, so she'll stand right beside me. And then Emily will be my maid of honor. So they're both gonna be like my maid of honor. Sarah's just considered something different because she's married. And then it'll be all my friends following. Dylan's sister is also gonna be standing beside Emily. So it'll be like, it's so cute because Dylan has 2 brothers and I have 2 sisters and a brother, or wait, Dylan has 2 brothers and a sister and I have 2 sisters and a brother, so it like perfectly flip-flops and matches up, so all of our siblings will be walking with each other down the aisle, which I think is so cute and so fun. Will Winnie be in the wedding? So I'm kind of going back and forth on this right now. You guys know how Winnie is with her freaking timidness and anxiety. And so I want her to be there. She'll definitely be in Florida. Like she'll be staying, we rented a house for the week, which is like where we'll be getting ready and all of that. We'll do like a bridal luncheon that morning or the day before, that Friday morning at the house. I'm so excited to show you guys the house. It's beautiful. But I think I want Winnie to be the flower girl, and Sarah and Ben are having a baby boy, obviously, so he could be the ring bearer, but he's gonna be so little, like literally only like 6 months old, so I don't know like, I don't want Sarah to have to carry the baby down the aisle because I want her to be able to walk down the aisle with one of Dylan's siblings. So I'm kind of going back and forth, and I want Winnie to be a part of our day. So I think she might be the flower girl and just put like a cute little bandana and leash on her and have someone walk down the aisle with her. I'm not really sure, but I feel like that could be really cute. If you guys have any ideas on how to like incorporate your dog into your wedding, comment them below. Okay, so a lot of people are asking if they think that I feel too young to be married. No, my answer is no, because again, I feel like a lot of people say when you know, but like Dylan is my person, like my soulmate, and I know it sounds so, everyone's like, oh yeah, whatever, like I thought that too. I'm 24, I'll be 25 the week after we get married, and Dylan will be 24. So I don't think that we're too young. We've been dating for 7 years. It's not like we just met each other like 5 months ago and we're like, let's get married. But I don't know, I feel like I know Dylan's for me and Dylan knows I'm for him, and we've already been through so much together, and we're just ready to be married. We're ready for like the next step. I cannot wait to like be his wife, him be my husband, us to be able to start a family. So no, I don't feel like I'm too young, but I do like see what some of you got, how you guys would think that, because a lot of you are like, oh my god, I'm only 23 and I would never picture myself getting married next year. But it's also like you might be single right now and you haven't been dating someone for so long. Like 7 years is a long time, and I feel like I know every single thing about Dylan, if not more than he knows about himself. So I don't know, we're just ready to move past the dating and be married. I'm so excited. What are some things you are not doing compared to a typical wedding? So we aren't getting married in a church, which is like typical for our family. My older sister didn't get married in a church either, but that's just something we decided not to do. We're both very religious, but we just decided to get married in a place that we both love. So that's that. Did I always want to get married? Yes. I've always pictured my wedding day. I've always pictured walking down the aisle since I was a little girl, and Dylan is literally like my dream man, and I just like cannot wait for the day. Once I bought my dress, I remember telling my mom, I was like, I want the wedding to be like next month. I was like, I'm like ready to marry Dylan. And there's a lot of things that I feel like you can get tied up in when you're getting married, between like the parties and the gifts and the decoration, and it's like at the end of the day, a lot of questions about like decor and stuff. It's not about that. Yeah, it's so fun. It's a big party. Everyone's celebrating you. Your closest friends and family gather together to celebrate you. But at the end of the day, like no matter what ends up happening that day, this day's happening because I want to marry Dylan and Dylan wants to marry me. I like cry talking about it. It's like that is the important part, not the silverware you have sitting there or what type of chair or what type of napkin. Like all of that I literally don't care about. Someone could literally plan all of that for me and I would not care. I just want it to be special between Dylan and I want our friends to be able to see us like get married and start our future together or start our life together. And that's just like what I'm most excited for. Like I literally can't wait for that. And then we'll be leaving for our honeymoon that following Monday, and I'm like so excited for that because just like all the stress and stuff leading up to the wedding, which I will say, I feel like I thought I would be way more into the wedding planning, and I'll like confidently say that I'm probably the least into it. My sisters are like calling me like, Rachel, you should probably like plan your bachelorette trip, like blah, blah, blah. You need to get going on this. And it's like, I don't see that side of it because that's not what I think about when I think of a wedding. I think of Dylan and I starting our life together, and I'm so excited for that. So I've been a little bad on the wedding planning, but this video is gonna hold me accountable. So how am I dealing with the guest list? It's so stressful. Like I said at the beginning, do you, girl, because at the end of the day, it's your wedding. It's not their wedding, you know? Are you going to cry or be emotional? Is literally the exact question. Yes, I'm going to probably need someone to help me read my vows because I'm going to sob so much. I don't know why I cry so much when I start like publicly speaking about like emotion and things like that. I'm just like, I don't know. I just love Dylan so much that like whenever I say things, I just like cry. So he's always like, why are you crying? I'm like, I don't know. Am I scared? You guys are funny. Okay, I think Dylan could... I've only seen him cry twice and we've been together for so long, so I hope he cries. If he doesn't, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I'm turning around, you better freaking cry. Like it's not like that for me. But if we do a first look and it's just him and I think he'll get a little bit more emotional than if everyone is staring at him in the audience. He's very like a shy, kind of closed off guy, so I'm not really sure. I hope he cries. Is my dress more simple or lace? Give us a hint. Okay, I'll give a hint for the dress. Your only dress hint will be There isn't lace, but there is something else on the dress, and it's not sparkle. So what could it be? First dance song. Okay, this is also something we're struggling with. We haven't picked one. We have like 2 in mind, but we have booked our DJ, and he sent us a list of like a document that we need to fill out about like songs we want to play during the dance party, like dad-daughter first dance, Dylan and my first dance, like all of that, and we haven't filled any of it out yet because we just can't decide. So that is to be decided. What color tux are the boys wearing? So they'll be in black too. So it'll be the whole wedding party will be in black, and then the guys will wear a white undershirt. Dylan will be in a black bow tie, and the guys will be in a black tie, and then I'll be in all white, and my girls will be in black. I can't wait. Am I getting a wedding band? Okay, so wedding bands, yes, Dylan will be getting, I think he wanted to do gold to match me, so he's gonna do gold, and then I think I'm gonna do 2 wedding bands, 1 on each side, just because my ring is so simple. I think I'm gonna do 2 half, I don't know what it's called, like halo or something, like just half of the band with tiny little diamonds, and it's gonna be as thin as my band now, so it'll be like 3 gold bands. It'll just add a little sparkle, and I just like want 1 on each side. I think that's so cute. So we haven't like gone and picked those out yet, but I'm excited. But we have invitations yet? No. We don't even have our save the dates out. We're actually taking those engagement photos next week end, so I'm excited about those photos. How long did it take me to decide on a venue? I feel like, again, it's like when you know, I went between a few. I knew I wanted to get married in Florida, but there was a few options. But once I like, first off, the budget, a lot of them got X'd off because they were just like way out there for my budget. The ones that we had left for options, once I knew, or once I saw it, I was like, okay, yes. I actually didn't even get to see it in person. My mom and Sarah went and just FaceTimed me, so a lot of the planning has not been hands-on. I'm excited though, because we're gonna go see the venue when we're in Florida this next week, so I'm so excited. Dylan will see it too. Tips on how to pay for a wedding if you're doing it on your own. Okay, I love this because obviously not everyone gets to have their parent or grandparent or whatever pay for the wedding. That's just not realistic. Honestly, a wedding is a shit ton of money. I would say sit down, write out all the things that you want to be at your wedding. I did this because I want to keep the budget low for my parents. I'm not trying to nickel and dime my parents. That's just not how I am. And the things that I'm going over with, I'm paying for. I care about going over because I don't want just like money flying out the door for literally just one night. Yes, a wedding is a special night, but it's literally one night. You have to remember, one night for all this money. So write a list of things that you want. This is what I did. And then cut off some things that you're like we're not doing wedding favors. We're not doing like gifts in the room when the guests get there. That's just like unnecessary. We just decided to invite everyone to the rehearsal dinner. We're doing a beach bonfire rehearsal dinner. I'm so excited. So we just decided, is it raining? We just decided to invite everyone to that as like a little gift, especially because we're doing a destination wedding. So we wanted people to feel like they had the experience of the whole weekend and it wasn't just like one night and done. So we're gonna have 2 nights, and then Sunday after the wedding, we might block off a restaurant that if guests wanna come, everyone say their goodbyes before heading out of town, just because it is kind of like a destination wedding. So we're not doing like the gifts. That adds up super quickly, putting little gifts in everyone's room. That's so expensive. We're not doing like table settings or anything. I'm keeping the flower budget very low. I wouldn't have done open bar if it wasn't included with my venue, because that can add up. I've always heard it's nice to do just beer and wine, and then if someone wants a liquor drink, then they just pay for it, and that's totally fine. Guests understand. Open bar is so much money. So I would say just write out a list and decide what you really want and things that you're like, I don't really need. Like, I don't need a huge sign that's like $500 or $1,000, the Aunt and Reese neon sign. Like, what am I gonna do with that after the wedding, you know? So things like that, like think like, yeah, it would be wonderful to have that, but at the end of the day, it's for one night. Like, just remind yourself. So a few more questions, because I know this is getting long. Are we having kids at the wedding? No, unless they're cousins. Like, if it's we don't really have younger cousins on either side, but there's no kids at the wedding just because we already had a limited amount of space. I just got engaged and don't even know where to begin. Any tips? I would say start with your venue. The venue is the biggest like piece of the puzzle. Also, I'll link below, like I mentioned, the wedding planning book that I have, and it literally goes like step by step. You can also do the app called The Knot, and I think that that is really helpful as well. Do we have a videographer? As of right now, no, because I didn't think I wanted one. I put more of my money into the photographer, but now I'm like, I might want a video, so I'm trying to decide on that. I'll keep you guys updated. Are we doing the ceremony and the reception at the same place? So yes, we are. Just because the venue is a little bit smaller, we'll have the ceremony on one side and then everyone will go to the other side for like cocktail hour and hors d'oeuvres, and then they'll flip it and set out the food, and then the dance floor will be on the other side. It's like kind of confusing, but they'll just flip it for us, so everything will be in the same area, which I actually am really excited about. Might be a little tight, but who cares? We'll have fun. If you had to describe your wedding style, how would it be? I would say minimal. I feel like I've been trying to live a more minimal lifestyle, like between like clothing and house and all of that, and it is hard. But with the wedding, I definitely want it to be minimal. I don't want it to look overcrowded or junky or too much of something. I want it to be very elegant, minimal, simple wedding. I think that I answered pretty much everything that you guys asked. I hope you guys all enjoyed this little cocktails and questions, my new series on my channel. I definitely enjoyed it more than just a normal Q&A, so let me know if you guys want to see more of these. I can also do like a girl talk, cocktails and questions, like girl talk. It doesn't have to be wedding related, literally about anything. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Again, thank you ExpressVPN for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to check them out down below in the description. I will have some info and stuff of questions and like the planner and all that in the description as well, so make sure you check out the description. I always have everything linked down below. But I'm so excited for the wedding. I'm so excited to bring you guys along with all the wedding content. We're like 10 months out, so it's gonna start like picking up between like Sarah having a baby, football season, which is gonna be crazy. We might be moving again, and then the holidays, it's gonna be crazy. So buckle up because we're gonna be getting close, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to marry Dylan. Like, I'm literally so excited. So I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.
Slow a little down, it's